to infinity and beyond.
Everybody, Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Inhumans events coming to the Marvel range of video games. It was announced that, as you would expect, all the games are going to be getting some Marvel, the new Inhumans content. That's because we've got the brand new TV series coming to ABC. It's kind of, I don't know if it's out in IMAX, and they're doing that thing in America where it's going to go there first. So in terms of video games, Marvel Puzzle Quest is getting Lockjaw. Marvel Heroes Omega is getting Black Bolt as a playable character. They're also getting an event in that game. We've also got a tie-in with an event for Avengers Academy. We've also got Medusa and some other content coming to Contest of Champions. There's also was confirmed that Black Bolt and I think Lockjaw and stuff are also going to be in the brand new Powers Unite VR game that's going to be coming out later next year. So that's pretty cool. And also just confirming what the other one was. I'm trying to remember them all. No, that was it. No, I don't remember. There was no mention of Future Fight, which was a bit odd.
Well, I think that's because they're already in Future Fight. I think they were added some time ago.
So there we go. So that's going to be. They're all going to be kicking off throughout September. Obviously, tie in with this new TV show, which I'm kind of interested to watch because I know very, very little about the Inhumans. They are, to me, that was this kind of thing of they've been building up in the Agents of Shield. So now I know what they are, so they don't have to explain that. But obviously, the characters as well. So bringing these ones in like Black Bolt is kind of, I mean, he's not going to be an interesting TV character because he can't talk, but what do you think of all this?
Well, I mean, first of all, they've got the Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they've got these Inhumans, and while they're connected, like they get their powers the same way, these Inhumans are completely different from the Inhumans we already had. The Inhumans in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are humans who have an inhuman genetic legacy to them. These are the pureblood Inhumans. They've been living on the moon, or I'm not sure how they're pitching it right now, but they've been living on the moon in the so-called blue area of the moon, which is apparently a spot where there's just oxygen for reasons. But yeah, these guys, Black Bolt, Karnak, Crystal, all of them, it's best to treat them more like the X-Men than like the Inhumans we already have. And that's really the problem, is they were they've been around for a very long time, but they were meant to replace the X-Men in the media, that Marvel controlled. But let's see, the main thing here, cool that they're getting added. Lockjaw is an awesome character. Black Bolt getting added to Marvel Heroes. I do want to say he is a glass cannon character in that game. And for anyone not familiar with the term, it means he can do a lot of damage, but he can't take a lot of damage, so you got to be very careful using him. But he is fun to play. They got some cool special effects with him.
Yeah, that's to be honest, that'll be the game out of all of these that I will be playing all the content the most, because I'll be honest, firing up Marvel Heroes is becoming quite a common thing for me, like a couple of nights a week now. But I think because it's installed on your console, you can just blast into it and go. So I'm looking forward to that content coming to Marvel Heroes Omega. I'm playing the new character, and I hope we get a proper event, a little bit more like what we had with Spider-Man than we did with the Defenders, even though I did that a little bit here and there. Having Medusa and stuff added to Contest of Champions, funny because Black Bolt was like one of the first characters I unlocked, so I've actually played as him. I've been playing as him for like years, so I'm quite familiar with using him in that game. But all this different content is good. I think it's good to get these characters out there a little bit more. I think the whole point of this TV series and these games is to do exactly what it's doing to me, and that is introducing these characters. It's a real shame I think Inhumans was not done properly as a movie, because that was the original idea years ago, was that it was going to be a movie, but they kind of, I think they almost like lost their nerve on this one.
Yeah, they kind of tried to split the difference, and I suspect that some of that was the TV group and the movie group kind of not agreeing on how to move forward. And again, this split in how the Inhumans are portrayed, because the Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are very specifically one kind of character, and they are, they're following a certain story arc, which doesn't work with the royal family of Inhumans, because they were born with these powers. Most of them got them through Terrigenesis the same way, but they always knew they were going to have powers. They're living in a society where those powers are expected, versus our society where people are like, this is not cool. I don't like people having powers that could like blow up my building without me even doing anything. So yeah, there's a certain oops. We wanted to use the Inhumans in the story, but we can't. If we do them in the TV show, then we can't do them in the movies. Yeah. And I think the IMAX release was trying to bridge that, but I haven't seen it. Yeah. And everything I have heard suggests that it was a very good thing that I didn't go and see it because it sounds like it's a mess. Maybe it'll be
the early reviews are. The early reviews for this TV show are coming in not very good. Personally, I think the trouble is Marvel. Everything they've touched so far has been doing very well, and the more stuff they're throwing out there, the less they got their finger on what's going on properly. I still think there's too many TV shows coming. I think there is just too much. So luckily, I think this is only going to be an eight episode. But as far as like the games goes, I'll be honest. The actual Avengers Academy, I don't play this game. I don't like the artistic style. I don't like the format. It's just not my. It's every time I try it, I just get really frustrated with it, and it's just like this is not the game I want to play. But I do like the idea of all that content coming to Contest of Champions. That's where I'm definitely much more in on this one as a mobile game. That's definitely the mobile game of choice for me. And then, like I say, Puzzle Quest. Unfortunately, I'll only play one of the match 3 to win games, and that's Disney Emoji Blitz now. But yeah, it's good to kind of see this kind of these events coming in. I think it's definitely cool. But I want to add on this fun really is the VR item. That was a very nice. I mean, the game's not out for months yet, but I think in some ways it's good to kind of slide this in there and include this as just keep the hype train rolling. But on one hand, like you could have kept that and done that as a separate like announcement and a bit later on.
Yeah, I think this is especially a title that needs to get its own announcement just to keep people aware that it exists. You don't want to tuck it in with a bunch of mobile games.
Well, yeah, that's what they did, so it's a bit odd.
I'm kind of hoping that Black Bolt, if you get to play as him or when you get to play as him, it'll use the voice sensors to determine if you're talking, and if you do, that's how you attack with him. Yeah. But I don't think so. I think they're going to use more typical.
The more I see of this stuff with this VR unit, the more I'm just going. You needed it. You don't. It's such a shame it's on Oculus as a platform because these VR I think needs to try and get out to as many people as possible, and restricting it to PC on this one device. I mean, I know like even Microsoft have got their own headset coming out for Windows. There's so many different devices, and it just feels like these kind of games need to be multi-platform to kind of really push the platform forward, and then let people see where everyone goes in it. This feels like a game that had it been on PlayStation VR could be a system seller.
And I agree in theory with that. You definitely want to get it on as many platforms as you can, and I would definitely like for all these VR games to be going across system. But I think this is one of those few times where you really can throw out the PC Master Race card because the consoles just don't have the power to create these VR experiences because you're more than doubling the power requirement output to get this going in the VR headset. And what the PlayStation VR does when they do it right is really impressive. But you're never going to be able to get the same amount of output from the PlayStation, even the PlayStation Pro, than you will out of, admittedly, a very expensive computer.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at with VR. Now, I think in the future, that's going to change because we're going to get better and better systems. The Xbox One XY or whatever is going to have one. The PlayStation Pro 7 is going to have a perfectly good virtual system. But right now, in this beginning era of VR, you really need it to be on a PC because you're not going to get a proper experience out of PlayStation. Or if you do, it's going to be so neutered or toned down that you're going to be looking at, well, why am I playing on a Super Nintendo when the same game looks 3 times better on the Nintendo 64 or PlayStation? Which is not a knock against the PlayStation VR. The game's on it. It's a perfectly great VR experience. It's just hampered by the limitations of the hardware available to it.
Because, I mean, yeah, on the one note, you know, the Octus have paid for that exclusive thing, and they're developing it to get me to buy. You know, we are the prime example of them kind of going, come to Oculus, buy the system, you can have, you know, this is what they make system games for, is to get you to buy in. My problem is, I need the PC, you know, my laptop just probably won't. I do not do games on my PC because it doesn't run so nice as the consoles. They don't work. And I'm not going to, you know, for the idea of going and buying a £400 Oculus Rift and a new laptop or a new gaming rig, that's something now you're going in. It's going to cost me $1,000, you know, like, and get the Xbox X, probably the PS4 Pro, and a PSVR for less than all of that combined.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a problem we're going to have to deal with in the next couple of years. Obviously, as the hardware gets better, not just the actual headsets, but the computer hardware, the console hardware, the stuff that's available, as developers learn how to optimize for the dual screen look with all the other stuff going on, it will get better and better. But as we have said multiple times in the past, it's still beta technology. You're still testing this technology, and it's awesome if you want to jump in on that. If you've got the money to afford it, there's some great experiences out there, but
yeah, I can't wait. Actually,
it's not there yet.
Yeah, I'm booked in on a PlayStation demo next week on a PSVR unit, and it's like, yeah, I am really looking forward to kind of giving it a second go, because last time my experience wasn't bad because it was like all blurry in one eye. So I'm hoping that it kind of either works, or it's either going to do one of two things. It's either going to sell me, or it's going to make me go, nope, this is dead to me. It doesn't work. But that announcement was definitely the one thing that I took really cool. But I am also pretty excited about the Black Bolt sliding in as a new character. Though Venom kind of slid in as an extra character that we're getting this week for the game. Kind of that one came in out of nowhere. But no, sounds good to me.
Was that from Marvel Heroes or for...
Yeah, Marvel Heroes Omega, yeah. He's coming in on Thursday as a playable character. So he kind of slid in, I think, before Black Bolt. So that's looking pretty cool. Anything else you want to add on these ones?
Just really quickly, since we tacked on the Venom bit there, I don't care about the addition of Venom, although a lot of people like the character. What I like about that is that it means they're bringing the villains to the Marvel Heroes Omega, which means I'm hoping that Ultron is coming soon, because he was one of my favorite characters on the PC, and Ultron would be one of the characters that I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll pop back onto the console to play Ultron again.
I always loved the fact that when all the droids would, or his clones would come out of the ground and attack. It was always a pretty cool one. So on that note, guys, let us know in the comments below, what of the Inhuman games are you looking forward to, or content are you looking forward to playing? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. So get in touch with us. As per usual, guys, you can check us out over at DisKingdom.com. Also, be sure to check us out on our DisKingdom.com's Facebook group about gaming. So you can join in there and join in all the discussion as well. As for per usual, James, where can they find you?
HeroicLegacy.com.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Later.